All right, but we're gonna start with one of our favorites, data talk, all right? Remember, I want you to think about it first to yourself, and then I'm going to tell you who you're sharing with, okay?
So the decision to bring forward a new K-5 elementary curriculum in the Amherst Public Schools was the result of research and an intensive review of our grades 6 to 12 math programs. It resulted in extensive findings and a report that we needed to establish a vision that would unify our district for math instruction. And the important finding that came out of it was that we needed to do a deep review of our K-5 math programming because we were seeing significant gaps in the math conceptual understanding of our secondary students, and we were really interested in bringing the problem-based solving perspective into our elementary schools for the impact of the possible trajectory then on our secondary students.
The string, there's still some leftover from there.
I would advise teachers who are starting to implement this to let the students think and talk. Let the students guide the lesson, not be scared to just kind of see where it goes. Definitely start with introducing routines, have them practice those routines and setting the expectations first so that then the students can be successful.
So we really needed to develop the implementation plan that was going to be based on the roles and responsibilities of everybody that was involved. You can't just have an implementation plan without having all of the stakeholders who are connected to that implementation plan really understanding, clarifying their roles and responsibilities. And one of the things that we had the opportunity to do with grant funding this year from the Department of Education is to have TNTP consulting with us and help our building leaders and our district leaders explore those roles and responsibilities. Out of that came a better understanding of the intersectionality of all of those roles and responsibilities and a heightened awareness of the communication that needed to improve around that. So that was collaboration.
We wanted to make sure that we were doing our due diligence to best serve our principals, our school districts, and our schools in general. We started our monthly professional development where we met as a team. We worked on different strategies to really engage how are we communicating with principals, how are we getting information out. One of the things that'll happen further along is to make sure that we're building our capacity.
So having time with a coach to be able to look at the program itself, dig into the data, see what's available for us to use to help students learn better, just gives me an opportunity beyond what I might already know to be able to see and try out the different parts of the curriculum. I co-teach with a special education teacher, so we plan and teach math lessons together. There's ways that we use the curriculum to differentiate small group work or independent work. Before we teach, we look at the lessons and do the math together and think about entry points for all the kids and how we can ensure that they have access.
That culture of learning walks was new for our district, and so understanding that it's non-evaluative, that this is simply an opportunity to see what's happening in the classroom and how we can provide feedback and an opportunity for teachers to just understand what's happening on the ground across our system.
I have had some just really great one-on-one feedback sessions after having the whole group in there and then being able to talk one-on-one with somebody who saw and has the takeaways from the whole group. It's so nice to have someone else's outside perspective.
We have our principal monthly meetings or bi-weekly meetings that happen. There are instructional walkthroughs that happen at the elementary level as well as the secondary level. But most importantly, I love the PLC model that has been established, where our principals come together, they have discussions, they're able to garner feedback, we're able to garner feedback, but deeper than that, we're able to shift in terms of personalized needs to support them moving forward. So we're building a system. We also talked about creating a professional development plan and supporting principals in becoming the instructional leaders that they see themselves to be. We're tracking the impact of it and having to speak deeper to that conversation, extending it, shifting and learning, course correcting, but also growing from it.
Being part of the training has been really helpful. One of the big things has been really unpacking what the kids are learning and in the bigger picture, the way that the trainings are, you kind of explore it in a different way. You're using materials, you're digging in, you're working with partners, you're sharing out, and you're thinking more deeply about what it is the kids are trying to work through. I found that really helpful, and other teachers have shared too that they find that part where they're really digging in and being the student and interacting with the materials and having to think is really helpful. It's also really helpful to hear how the other adults are experiencing this and what their strategies are. Just because just the way kids have different strategies, we have different strategies. So, it's kind of exciting because it's like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. So you get these aha moments.
This is not just a math thing. This is what happens when you take the potential of an excellent district and excellent tools and put them together to make excellent changes for kids.